There we
Hi,
go.
I'm Caz Parker for MMH, the home of rock radio, here with the awesome, incredible, fabulous, the legend that is Marco Mendoza. Ta-da!
Ta-da! What an introduction.
I
Thank you so
know.
much.
Do you know what? I'm so excited to be interviewing you again because I mean, we keep in touch regularly anyway, so I
Yeah,
generally
we
know
do.
what's going on with you, but
Yes. Thank
not
you for
every
that.
yeah, not everybody else knows. So that today is what we're going to talk about is what is going on with you right now and what everybody can be excited about as well. So the big news
Yes.
is you're back.
I am back. I am back.
You are touring.
Been got touring. I've been gone for like we were talking, 18, close to 2 years, 22, 23 months.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And so as you can imagine, I'm like a little fish out of water. Been waiting for this day and these gigs to happen because
Yeah.
obviously a lot of these things are remnants are left over from 20, and then we tried back in
You
June,
tried in
and
June. Yeah.
our little prime minister friend decided to extend everything, and that's
Yeah.
cool. So it kind of threw a little wrench in the whole thing, and now we're back.
We
So
are
I'm
back.
really excited,
And this
really
is the
excited.
Take It to the Limit tour. And
Yes.
we reckon, don't we? And we reckon this is factually correct to say that you are probably the first musician touring over here in Europe and the UK since all of this began. That's what we
Yes,
reckon. You reckon, and I reckon. And I think if people fact check us, then we're right.
I think we're on. And to be honest, so it's not to put too much brain on the whole thing. I never thought about it like that because we do this. This is
Yeah.
normal. We book dates, we book tours, we go, we don't think about the circumstances. But we got to Spain, and that was the reception that I got. It was like, you're the first. And I'm like, oh, wow, what a responsibility. I got to sound a little better and look a little prettier if it's possible, whatever. But so psychologically, it does a little number on you. But it felt great. It felt
Yeah.
really, really good. The response has been absolutely over the top. People are dying, hungry and thirsty for what they call música en directo, which is live music,
Yeah.
going to venues and celebrating life and just getting away from it all for a few hours.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's what we're
Well,
here for.
yeah, and that's it. And you know, we have been back at it since July in the
You
UK.
guys have, yes.
Like you say, I mean, sadly your June tour had to be moved to now, but it's weird. Did it feel weird the first show you did? Did it actually feel weird, or did it feel like just putting on an old pair of comfy pants and just straight back into it?
A little bit of both. A
Okay.
little bit of both because the travel takes a lot out of you. And if you can
Yeah.
imagine, when we do it constantly, you get this stride and you get this rhythm, and you're when to turn off, turn on, and kind of like savor your energy, and apply yourself. But I was so excited that before coming here, I've been working a little bit in the States, traveling a lot in
Yeah.
the States with this other band, this amazing band, Journey. Uh, so I did a little bit of that, and it kind of prepared me. But when you travel this far and you
Mm.
get there and you literally get out of the plane, go to the hotel, drop the bags in, and you start doing interviews, promo for the gigs, it takes a little bit out of you. And
Yeah.
you're going, whoa, 2, 3 hours of using your noggin,
Yeah. It's using
uh,
your voice as well, isn't it?
yeah, and your voice. And first 2, 3 gigs, I was like in the zone. The voice was right on point. It was great. And then the meet and greets and the fatigue and the talking and all
Yeah.
that. Uh, Gig number 4, I started noticing something, and then I woke up before gig number 5, which was Madrid, I believe, and I had a little bit of a cold, like everybody. A little
Yeah.
bit of a cold. I went and got tested immediately,
Yeah.
which we are kind of insisting on the fans to come into the venue to do that, use masks whenever possible. But I got tested, and I was fine. It's just a little cold in my voice, a little fatigue. But last night, this was gig number 6 or 7. After traveling, you get dehydrated. The
Mhm.
distances, and it felt good. The voice was still there, so I'm okay. But it felt great. All in all, it was great. You
Yeah.
feel it physically,
Yeah.
but I'm up for it. I'm
Yeah, and
definitely.
that's it. And I did a few interviews recently, and I said to the bands that I interviewed, it was weird as a fan when I first went to a live music show again after all this time, because I beforehand I got a bit of anxiety. I thought, well, how am I going to feel? What if I've forgotten what to do? What if I've forgotten how to enjoy myself?
Yes, yeah.
And I hadn't. As soon as I got there, I was like, boom, pop in, just enjoying it.
Yes.
And the thing is, as well, like you say, like we said about the voice, I do chat to a lot of people. I know a lot of people. I like to
It's
chat.
great. Yes.
But what you forget is when you're talking over music. So if you're at a festival, let's say, and there's always noise, one stage or another, and you're with your friends and everything, and you're being sociable as well. Everything I go to, I tend to come back and I've completely lost my voice because I'm so out of practice. So for you guys, oh, it must be really hard.
It is. It is. I have a lot of things I know how to deal with, and shutting my mouth, which is hard because I'm also a communicator. I like to chat, and we know a lot of people, and which is why we're the same. We come from the same tree. So to learn to have the discipline to shut down, and if I can, a few hours just before the gig, I shut down. I just kind of meditate, whatever you want to call it. I kind of get centered. I shut down, rest, let the body just go, and then wake up and I start warming up. And I do a couple of things here and there, hot tea, lemon, all that stuff, the little tricks that we do. And then the gig comes up, and then your adrenaline is rushing, and boom, it's there. It's a trip. And like right now, you can hear a little bit. Right now, it's a little shut down, but come gig time, no problem. So
you'll be warmed up, you'll be ready, you'll have had your lemon and your honey or whatever drinks you have. But
yes,
that's what I was going to say, actually. Yeah, because like you say, you shut down and everything, but your shows are always really high energy, bags of fun. And what's amazing actually is that we get to see you, who, you are my friend, but you are a legend as well. But we get to see you in these intimate venues, which is brilliant. Like I guess it is up close and personal, isn't it? And
it is.
So I suppose, I've seen you a few times. What should we expect from the shows this time round?
Well, I'm lit, man. I'm hot wire. I'm lit. I'm ready to have a blast, and I can't wait to get to the UK. I have to say this, and it's very true. And I'm very lucky. I get to travel all over the world, but I have a very close place in my heart for the UK and Scotland and Ireland, because I've spent a lot of times, a lot of years with projects that were founded there. You're going back to Thin Lizzy and Whitesnake, Dolores O'Riordan. I spent a lot of time there. And the fans are just very unique, and they love you to death. Once they accept you, they're your friends for life. So and we have some new music, and I got to talk about the guys, because the guys are on fire too.
Go on, talk about the guys. Go on then.
Tommy Gentry, who's been working with, him from Gun and all that. I'm so lucky to have him. He's a sweetheart. He's a hard worker. They love music, both him and Kyle Hughes on drums, who's been doing quite a few things now, in addition to Bumblefoot. With Guns N' Roses, he's staying busy with them. So I'm lucky to have the guys, and we identify in such a cool level that we love music. Aside all the business and all the other stuff, we just love music, period. And we love performing. And what's very important to me is that they allow me, to put my vision forward. As an entertainer, is what I want to portray on stage, and they support me 100%. And I can't say that about a lot of people I work with, to be honest. But this is very cool, and I feel their support. I feel their love and their respect. There's a lot of mutual respect. So they're on all pistons, man. They're firing, and their energy is captivating and contagious to me. I get up on stage and I see these young cats, man. I'm going, wait a minute. I'm like, I see these cats on stage, and I have to get into my zone. You know what I mean?
So you're basically vibing off each other, aren't you? Because you bring the energy, and then they're bringing their energy as well. So it's gonna go off.
It is. It's gonna be very special. Tonight and last night we recorded live, so I'm hoping we end up with something very cool. Just start incorporating the guys into my mix, So it's gonna be live and on fire. That's all I can say.
So did you say you've got new music already
written
to play?
Yes.
Oh.
we're kind of like doing little teasers here and there.
Yeah.
I got asked by the label to not play any of the songs yet because we're gonna figure out when to release a new album. It's in the can, it's mixed, it's mastered, and I'm excited because
Mm.
there's a lot of cool stuff there. Soren Anderson, who we know and love,
Yes.
and he he did a great job. I love working with him.
He's
Another cat,
brilliant.
another cat, and
Yeah, yeah.
so we got to figure out when to release it and when to make sure I have time available to support it, to go out
Mm.
there and support the album and tour behind it. And
Oh my God. So there's another tour. There's going to have to be another tour then.
oh yeah, definitely next year. It'll be
Wow.
somewhere before, I don't know, springtime, summer, something like that, something like
I
that.
feel like I want to call this as an exclusive, but I know you're doing other interviews. You're probably saying the same to them as well.
No, I haven't. They're very specific. This is if you want something exclusive when we announce it, let me know. We'll do something because I would love. We're friends. We support each
100%.
other, and I really appreciate your support. I got to tell you. So that's very cool. I
MMH
never
want
want to
the
forget about it.
exclusives. We'll definitely do that. That'll be amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
super stoked about that. That's brilliant. Okay, so
Yes.
all right then. So we mentioned, well, I was gonna say I might already have the answer to this. I love it. I should have brought props. I've got loads of props.
Feathers, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I've got all of that stuff. So I was going to say, I mean, the last 18 months, it's probably longer now. It's probably nearer 2 years, but it's been pretty rubbish for musicians and for fans.
Yes.
It's been a really tough time, as we know, but we'd all admit that. But we've kind of all done things to get ourselves through it. Is there anything that you're most proud of achieving during this horrible time?
I have to say, my time with my family and my kids, very
Mm,
special. My
yeah.
daughter just graduated from high school, 18.
Oh, wow.
And one of the downsides that we have as touring musicians, as musicians, period, is
Yeah.
that the family life suffers one
Yeah.
way or another. There's no way around it. And I'm very lucky that my wife gets it.
Yeah.
She gets it. One of the reasons why we ended up together is because she gets it that I have to get on the road, and be away from home. So she's very cool, very together, and she has raised some pretty amazing people.
Mm,
And so I got to know my kids again.
yeah.
My daughter Faith is 18. Like I said, she graduated from high school. She's on her way to New York.
Oh,
We are making arrangements for her to go there to further her education. And then, so I was amazed at who
yeah.
she's become. And I can't tell her enough how proud I am.
Yeah.
At the core of her, she's a beautiful human being in every possible way. And that's the
Yeah.
most important thing to me. My
Yeah.
son is a little dude, he likes
Yeah.
sports, he likes guns, he likes fast cars, and nonstop.
Yeah.
Bzzz.
And how
I
old's
got,
he?
he's 14. He just started
Ah, okay.
high
Yeah,
school.
yeah.
So yeah, very cool. And reconnecting with my wife again because uh, the pattern is I leave for 2.5, 3 months, and then come home and I'm hanging out for a month, maybe
Yeah.
6 weeks, and then I'm gone again. I'm very lucky that I'm very busy. My career is
Yeah, of
amazing.
course. Yeah.
So you get to do that, but being at home, you get to really reconnect in a different way, different level,
Yeah.
and we're coming up with 20 years of marriage, and we're
Oh,
planning a little something. I'm not going to say too much, but yeah, I get to
yeah.
appreciate who she is,
Yeah.
the person, the wife, the mother, my
Mm,
lover, my friend, my everything,
yeah.
and I can't say enough about her. So those are the things that you look at going back.
Yeah.
Now that I left home, now it's coming up for 10 days, 2 weeks. I'm really missing being
Yeah.
home, but you can't have both. So,
No, it's
so
true.
it is.
It gives you a bit more balance and perspective, and you have to. That was forced on us. None of us chose for that situation, and we've all been
Yes,
in the same situation. It can go either way when you're suddenly cooped up, and especially lockdown. That was
yes,
something else altogether. But I think you're right. I think a lot of people have reassessed and gone, what's important to me, and actually, I don't want to neglect home for a career, and I want to try
yeah,
and strike a really good balance because
yes.
I think you're right. I mean, I work from home a lot more than I ever did before, and I like that. I never thought I'd want that, but I like it.
Mm.
So yeah. I think it's nice to have had
I
that time. It sort of forced us all to take breath, didn't it? And
to take inventory. And like you said, take a different perspective on what's important. The other thing that really happened to me, Kat, is I realized how important my solo stuff is to me. I'm realizing, because now that I'm getting older, my career is moving on, and I've been very lucky in so many ways. But I remember putting my thing on the back burner always, and you're looking back 10 years, 15 years ago, and whoa, I should really be paying more attention to this because I love it so much.
Yeah.
And granted, it's in a smaller scale, but there's nothing that I can experience in any other project, however big they are, that will test me like trying new songs, like releasing new music and having the fans like it or not. So you're walking that wire, it's very exciting. And when you win, then you win. It's very fulfilling,
Yeah. Well, this is your time. This is your legacy, though, as well, isn't it? Because being part of a band is a legacy to leave, and that music that you make and your on-stage performances, all of that is part of your legacy. But your own music, there's something that you're right. There's something a little bit special about that, isn't there? And you can do it as a passion project, because with the career that you've got behind you, you're right. It doesn't really matter. This is about you and what you want to do. And if people love it, brilliant. If they don't, it's not the end of the world. They can still listen to Whitesnake. They can still listen to all the other things that you've done, and the things that you're going to do. Because obviously we mentioned Journey as well. That's new news. It's not that new news, but it's still fairly new news. But
July,
yeah. So it was July, and then will we see you in the UK next year with Journey?
Me or
with Journey?
Like I said earlier, it's a temporary thing.
Okay.
What I'm doing, and I don't know what's going to happen in the future. So I take it with a grain of salt, and I've enjoyed every minute of it, and I'm digging it so much. I mean, to be part of something, like to be on stage with these guys playing that music and the legacy and the power of the songs, and it's amazing. I haven't experienced anything like that in a long time. So I'm having a blast, but it is what it is. It's temporary, and it's all I can say is just stay tuned. We'll have more info as it comes, but there's a few other projects that kind of are brewing and cooking that will be amazing if they happen to. So
why am I not surprised? There's always something going on in the Mendoza camp.
There is. I'm so lucky, so blessed.
You are. It's never luck. It's always about being a good person and doing the right thing by people and being good at your job. That's why these opportunities come along. Let's face it. So,
very true.
All right, then. I think I've covered all of that stuff. So, just a couple of quickies then. So is there anything you've been doing? Because we haven't caught up since way before lockdown in terms of interviews and things. So is there anything you've been doing? Any new hobbies or anything that you've taken up because of COVID?
A couple, went fishing.
Oh, okay.
I live in California.
Yeah.
And I have some friends that are big into deep sea fishing. And I took my son, we did a father-son hang. We do that as much as we can. Did some hunting, and I know it doesn't whatever. We can go by that one quick. Woo! And a lot of biking with my family, because we were close by the beach, and we did that a lot.
Yeah.
And
very wholesome activities.
Yes, supporting my kids, trying to help them find a direction in life, and my daughter and my son, and a lot of sports. So a little bit of everything, actually, because more than anything, I put on the father husband hat on, and it was really cool. I was missing the other side, I have to tell you, but it was refreshing to do that. I took care of a couple of health things that I won't get into, but that needed to happen. So when you have the time, you go, okay, now's the time to take care of this. Now's the time to take care of that. But no, you just being a human being, man, and trying to deal with the circumstances as much as you can. I wrote some music about it, and so.
Hello, who's trying to get hold of you? Busy.
Yeah, somebody is. Yes,
busy with me.
So yeah.
Well, at least you didn't do an epic fail like I did, which was I decided to start baking, and the first
Oh,
the first cake I made came out as a half cake, half biscuit because it was on a slope and it was in a tin that was too big. I'll have to send you a picture. It was hysterical.
yeah, but you learned, right?
Yeah,
Uh,
I did. The
I
second cake was amazing.
yeah,
And the
I
third, and then I
gotta
gave it.
I gotta say, because we had to stay home, I did a lot of cooking. I love to cook.
Ah, you see.
Something about that. That's true. Now you brought it to my attention. But
Yeah.
and you start experimenting with things. And I like fish,
Yeah.
seafood. We do a lot of seafood.
Yeah, I like
Also,
seafood.
my daughter is a total vegan, so I
Mhm.
went that route and I checked it
Yeah.
all out. And Tommy out here, Tommy Genter, is a vegan guy, so we're
Mm.
checking it out, keeping that balance, But so yeah, I tried a couple of new things,
Yeah, well, that was it. I think because we couldn't eat out for a while, you had to try and get a bit more inventive at home, didn't you? Because I got
Yeah,
really bored with my own cooking, so I had to try and do something.
yeah. It's
Yeah,
fun, right? Right? It's a lot of
yeah,
fun
it is.
cooking.
It is. It definitely
And
is.
and now with the internet, well, with the interweb, I mean, you
The-
could just log in and get all kinds of recipes, and it's a
Yeah,
trip, very
and
easy.
YouTube tutorials and stuff, so you don't even have to
Yeah,
read anything anymore. So yeah.
yeah, it's
Ah,
fun. It's really fun. And then when you hit it, when you hit the ball out of the park, and you go, that was great. I love to cook. I don't know if you're like me. I love to cook when we have company,
yeah,
because my family is used to what I cook and all that. They're like, okay, it's food, cool, it's great, thank you. But when
yeah.
company comes over, it becomes a special event. So it's
Oh
cool
yeah.
to cook for them. I make a mean ceviche. I hear.
Oh,
Yeah. So I
I don't
like
even know
to
what that is, Marco.
ceviche. Look
Ceviche.
it up. Look it up.
I don't even
Ceviche.
know how to spell it, so that's gonna be a bad start, isn't it? You'll have to send me a
Ceviche. Okay.
picture.
So Italians have pasta, right?
Yeah.
Uh, um, the Germans have, what do they have?
They have gnocchi usually, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or is that
Okay.
something else? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And they have sausages, loads of big sausages.
Sausage.
That's what
Yeah.
I know about German.
And so on. And the French have the creams and all that
Yeah,
beautiful
yeah.
stuff. Mexicans, we have seafood and we have ceviche. It's one of our mainstays. Yeah. And everywhere you go in Mexico, they have a different recipe.
Ceviche.
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 So
All right.
ceviche.
Ceviche.
And
I'm gonna be throwing that around like I know what I'm talking about.
look it up. It's very simple. It's pretty much it's marinated fish, any
Ah,
kind of fish protein that you
okay.
can choose, and it's marinated with lemon juice. I put a little olive oil and balsamic. It's very cool. And then you could throw mangoes, cucumbers, tomatoes, onions, of course, jalapenos, serranos,
Perfect. This is amazing. The listeners are going to be learning something. It's like a
and
cooking show.
yeah. I've done a few of those. Actually, this recipe, I did a thing with David Coverdale. He put
Shut
out a
up.
book. Yes, look it up. He was doing, it was a recipe book with him and Cindy a few years back when I was working
Yeah.
with him. And he says, any of you guys have any recipes? So I think we all submitted something and mine got in there because it's very easily done on the road. You just get the ingredients. You can do it anywhere.
Yeah.
So it's included. I'm trying to remember the name of the book.
Oh,
I also,
I'll find that easily. Yeah.
and also Ted Nugent, obviously. I put a couple of things in there too as well. So
Nice.
I forgot about that. Look at that.
You see, look
Wow.
at this. I feel like this is a path of discovery into your past as well as your
It
future.
is.
This
It
is
is.
what this has turned into. All right then.
Yeah. The other thing,
Oh,
I'm sorry to
no,
interrupt.
you carry on.
One little thing, because you kind of knocked on the door, is we have this book coming up, which documents, it'll come out in November, which documents kind of like my life story, where I've been, the projects I've been called in to do, little stories, but more than anything, it's like pictorial book, like a coffee table kind of book,
Yeah.
not very big. And so that's out. And we are having the fans submitting selfies so they can be included in the
Oh, I got
book. I
loads
know.
of them,
Well, come on, that with me and
obviously.
you.
Yeah.
So please send them in. And my friend Mark Allison, he put it together. We put it together. We were trying to think of something fun to do that wouldn't be terribly expensive, fun for the fans to reconnect, to kind of create something. And it's working. It just blew up.
Amazing. I love
It
it.
just blew up. Yeah. I forgot about that.
I love
So
this idea. Is it too late for me to get a selfie sent over?
no. We're actually, please do. We're actually having to add more and more pages because you can imagine now it's
Yeah,
growing. We're going to end up with a
yeah.
so it's cool. And it's
Brilliant.
global, fans from all over the planet send it. You can imagine after being in the
Yeah.
business for 85 years,
Yeah.
there's quite a few shots out there
Yeah.
with fans. And so they're submitting and it's cooking. It's great.
All right, that's it. I'm doing that
Yeah,
then.
please
Definitely.
do. You have to.
All right, then. This leads me on to a really nice, this leads me really nicely onto this next question. So
Okay.
there's going to be a book about your life virtually. If there was going to be a film made about your life, who would you get to play you?
Oh my gosh, that's a
I know.
heavy one. I don't know. I don't. My younger me, because yeah,
Doesn't matter. You could just pick someone that can do the whole thing.
I
So
get. I've been getting this, and I hate to talk like this because I live in the Mecca. I live in I come from Hollywood, so this is all
yeah.
a big conversation piece with a lot of people. But I've been told I look like so and so. I've been, people confuse me with Nikki when I used to do the thing, and I'm everywhere from Nikki to Alice. But the actor that I'm compared to a lot is Al Pacino. My older me, my older side of me, and I see that. I've seen him go, yeah, that's the vibe. So
That's
maybe,
a good one, yeah.
and he being, the fantastic actor that he is, I could
Yeah, let's
probably,
face it, he would do a good job, wouldn't he?
yeah. But as far as the new cats, the new generation, I'm out of the loop. I don't stay on top of all
What
that
about
stuff.
someone like Antonio Banderas?
Antonio Banderas. There you
Yeah, you
go. Why
see?
not?
I knew you'd
Yes.
say it much sexier than I do.
Thank you.
Antonio Banderas.
Antonio Banderas. He would be
Banderas.
great. Absolutely. And he is a performer and a musician
Yeah,
and a singer.
exactly.
Very true. There's a lot of cats in the Latin American,
Yeah.
scene as far as actors and all that would suit. Obviously, because I'm Italian.
Yeah.
So it would be cool if it was a Latin
I think
American
so.
cat. Yeah.
Definitely. All right, then. So who would you get to play the soundtrack? One band. Anyone you like.
Oh wow.
They got to adapt though, because they've got to be able to, well, they haven't. They can do what you like. They're just the soundtrack.
The soundtrack. I'm a big fan of Lenny Kravitz. I like his
Yeah.
direct. I love his vibe. I think
Yeah.
writing the music and all that. But it's a combination. It's a mixture, man. Aerosmith, Lenny Kravitz, Prince, James Brown,
Mm.
all the
Well,
influence.
maybe you can have
Stevie
one.
Wonder, Coverdale, of course, Whitesnake, Thin
Yeah.
Lizzy, Phil Lynott. I mean, I'm confused.
Well, greedy, I think, is another word for it. But yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm very influenced by all these people that I grew up listening to, and I love
Yeah.
whose music I love and respect so much that when I let myself go, I morph into these things. It's a
Yeah.
trip. It's a trip. So
To be fair,
that director and the producer would have to kind of take the reins and just decide which way to go because I couldn't do it
they
myself,
would.
to be honest.
No,
Yeah.
they would. It's true. It's true. And to be fair, if I was asked the same question, I'd probably have a list rather than just picking one. But the idea is to pick one. But
Yeah.
who makes the rules? I make the rules, and I like to make
Oh,
the rules. So
break. Yes. Yes,
All
I
right
hear
then.
you. Uh-huh.
Okay, I'm going to ask you one random question, and then
Yeah.
we'll do a little finisher. So, if Netflix were going to make a series about your life, would you rather they got the material from interviews with your exes or hidden cameras in your house?
Interviews with exes. Absolutely.
Ah.
No hidden cameras.
Oh, well,
No.
that makes me wonder what's going on in your house then. What are you up to? Wandering
It's
around naked, I wouldn't wager.
well, I do that. Absolutely. Comfort and robes.
Yeah, totally. We all do
Robes.
that.
But to be honest, it would be so boring. Nothing going on. I'm just being honest. It's just as I'm getting older, I'm settling in and I appreciate nothing, doing nothing, just
Yeah,
slowing down, I watch a lot of Netflix. I watch a lot of documentaries. I'm a big fan of that. I try to stay away from the news. I used to read books, and I even got away from reading books. Movies. I'm a big movie fan. And just being lazy, if you want to call it, but just
it's chilling. It's not being
stopping,
Let's call it chilling.
Stopping and connecting, with what's going on, So it would be very boring. The movie would go nowhere.
All right then. Interviews with the exes then. This will be crazy. That'll be
a lot of good and a lot of bad. Yeah.
I think we need to do this. I think this little book with the pictures in is just the beginning. I think we've got some ideas sparking here for either a film or a series, whichever. But I think there's definitely some stories to be told. So
absolutely,
because you have all the wisdom and the stories and stuff, if you had to give one piece of wisdom or advice to people who are watching this right now, just to help them stay happy and positive, what would that be?
I hate to be, Uncle Marco, but coming from my recovery, and I see this happening more and more and more, and it's out of control, if you ask me. And I don't come from a judgmental place, it's from a loving place. Consider for a moment that you have one body, and everything you put into your body, I'm getting chills. Everything you put into your body, sooner or later, you will pay for it. There are consequences. I just celebrated 20 years. I mean, September 20th, I just celebrated 34 years of sobriety.
Yeah.
And you're talking to, and I can talk about it now. You're talking to an ex-junkie, heroin addict, cocaine addict, alcoholic, pill addict, all of it addict.
Yeah.
And the transformation and what's happened to me spiritually, emotionally, psychologically, creatively, is just, so I would tell the young folks and anybody out there, consider not tapping into anything that's mind altering, and measuring yourself. It's okay to go out there and celebrate here and there, but some of us have the addictive tendencies.
Yeah.
That's the reality. And now with the opiates, that's another interview. We could talk about that forever. With what's going on with opiates everywhere, it's out of control.
Right.
And I see a lot of kids, people that come around with my daughter's age, teenagers, in a lot of trouble in the US. So I would say, listen, tap into nature, go get your adrenaline rush some other way. There's a lot of other alternatives and options for you. Take care of your body, and your body will take care of you.
Oh, that's a really lovely piece of advice. And you know what? You're right, because you've been there, you've done that, and you've probably thought there's things I would change. So
yes,
not everybody will listen, but some people might out there. You never know.
Yes, that's cool.
Yeah. Oh, that's lovely. Well, I'm going to wrap it up there. So I am going to wrap it up with a bit of a sales message though as well. So thank you. Obviously, thank you so much, Marco, because it's always awesome catching up with you.
Thank you,
I love to chat to you. And we could chat for hours and hours and hours. But I've been Caz Parker for MMH, the home of rock radio, with the legend that is Marco Mendoza. So I hope everyone's enjoyed it as much as I have. But the serious message at the end of this is not just don't do drugs, people. It's go and get tickets to Marco's shows, because this is probably going to be seen mostly in the UK, although, there's people who watch my stuff from all over the world. But UK, right, I've got a list. We have got London, Cannock, Southampton, Chesterfield, Scarborough, Newcastle, Treco Bay at one of the festivals, Inverness, Rockstock at Treco Bay, Monster Fest at Inverness, Carbridge and Bathgate. So we've got plenty of dates for people.
Yes.
Go and get your tickets. You will not be disappointed. I've been to plenty of Marco shows before, and it is absolutely spectacular and intimate and just the most fun you can have. So if people don't go, they've got me to answer to. So there we go.
Awesome. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you. Signing out. Thank you, Marco.
We'll see you soon, babe.
Bye.
Ciao. Bye.